I had one guy argue with me that I couldn't be from Africa.
What's it like living in Korea as a black woman?
I think it depends on your appearance, weight, how you look.
Looking for work, there will be some times where it will be posted, we're only looking for Caucasian that are white skin, never black skin.
They think that black women are loud, they know how to twerk, they love hip hop.
Sometimes I kind of forget that I'm actually black because I think the acceptance here has increased compared to past years.
Where are you from?
I'm from Toronto, Canada.
How long have you been living here?
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be checking out review of black people in Korea, and this is one of the most important video on the internet, what black people say about living in Korea in 2025. If you don't know, I used to be a very big K-pop enthusiast, K-pop and K-drama enthusiast. I used to be like deep into K-pop, and if you're a K-pop fan like me, you know that previously when a lot of people went to Korea, let me say 2017 to 2020, the review of Korea and how they treat black people and how they view black people was so very bad. At that time I was also processing my visa to go to Korea, but I was so very scared of all the whole story time and everything a lot of people experience in Korea. And I feel like these days, based on what I'm seeing on the internet, based on how I see Koreans interact with Africans and interact with black people on the internet, a lot must have changed. So we are going to be watching the interviews of black people from Africa, from Caribbean, from America, from across the globe who are living in Korea. Want to see what they say about Korea in 2025. I have seen a video of a guy that made that kind of video about China, but I commented, and the comment I posted, the guy gets angry. I wanted to react to the video. I don't know if it would be okay to react to the video. Maybe after this video I will react to the video, but if he flagged my channel, I don't know. But I wanted to react to the video, but then again I'm very scared of getting flagged by this person. The reason why I want to react to this video is that being a black person who want to travel across Asian countries, it is very important to know how these people treat us, at least in this 2025. A lot must have changed. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but let's go and watch this video together. I have not seen it. This guy is one of the best interviewer in the whole of YouTube. Like, not in the whole of YouTube, in the whole of the internet. He is the best interviewer on the internet, like one of the best. I don't miss his video. He's very calm, very soft spoken. I don't know where he's from. I'm thinking that he's an American. Another of my mind is saying that he's from Caribbean. Why other part of me is saying that he's an African. I don't know, but he's one of the best interviewer on the internet. Like, if you watch his video is very detailed. When he's asking something, is always very detailed. So go and check his channel out. The name of his channel is Internet Explorer. The last time I watched his video, he was in Japan interviewing one of my favorite YouTuber. But right now we are going to see what black people who are living in Korea say about Korea in 2025. It is very important to me. This is very important to me because I still want to go to Korea. Let's go and see.
For just about 5 years now.
My name is Michelle. I'm from the United States, and I've been in Korea for 5 years.
I'm from Belgium.
I'm from Nigeria and I've been here for 16 months.
I'm from Madagascar, but I grew up in Réunion Island, which is a French island. I've been here since October, but I've been traveling in Korea for like 6 years now.
I'm from South Africa, Cape Town specifically, and I've been in Korea for 5, going on 6 years.
I'm Ronnie. I'm from Nigeria and I've been in Korea for 3 years, going to 4.
What's it like living in Korea as a black woman?
As a black woman in Korea, I think my experience has been pretty normal compared to other people's. For example, I do get some stares and people want to touch my hair, but it's never anything like super disrespectful.
It's, for the most part, genuinely nice.
Guys, let's talk about this girl that said her experience has always been like very okay, but like pretty normal. You know, in Asia there are some people that fall into beauty standard of Asians, and once you fall into beauty standard of Asians, especially when we are talking about body stature or your weight, you do not get a lot of stares or a lot of reaction from people. If you look at her, she's pretty slim, she's very slim. She fall into the beauty standard of Asian country in general, not just Korea. She fall into the beauty standard of Asian. So I feel like the stares she will be getting may be appreciating, people appreciating her beauty, people appreciating her stature, people appreciating the way she look. As to that kind of dirty kind of stare, right? That kind of stare that we all don't like. But guys, I want to know what you think in the comment section. Let's continue watching.
Really nice. I get to experience so much. I get to travel around Asia, which is the main reason I kind of moved here in the first place. People have been nice to me, both the foreign community and the Korean community. So genuinely, it's been overall a nice experience, but moving abroad is always a little bit difficult. So there's been ups and downs.
I think it's kind of fine. Usually when I'm black and outside of the country that I live in, I'm kind of nervous to see how people react. But it was all right. I had a few stares, but I don't know if it's because I'm black or because I'm just another foreigner here. It's kind of okay. People usually say, "Ah, you look quite lovely."
Guys, let me talk about this lady that just say, these two ladies. When we are talking about being black in Asian countries, people do not understand the concept of being black in Asian countries. People always take being black in Asian countries is the same as being black in the US. Basically, in Asian country, this person will not be considered black. In Korea, this person will not be considered black. Nobody consider her black. She's not black to them because she's not my skin color. People they consider black are people who look like me, people who are dark, people who look like me, people who have 4C hair. But people who do not have 4C hair, who have some kind of the texture of her hair, and also who have skin color lighter than mine, are not considered black. They do not get the same kind of treatment I will get, or black person that look like me will get in any Asian country. I wish people will get to understand that and separate that, because at the end of everything, people use the concept of black in America as like compare that to the way it is in the whole of the world. That is not the way it is. Even this person, if she go in my country, Nigeria, or any African country, a lot of people will not still consider her black, because to us she may not be like typical black we know. A lot of people in Asian countries, when they see these miss children, or when they see these miss people who are mixed with black, or people who have some tiny little bit of black in them, they do not totally consider them black, which means they are not going to treat them the way they treat black people. They will get better treatment than black person will get. People should know that. People should always separate that, because at the end of everything, your experience as a mixed person that have mix of white and black in you, or mix of Asian and black in you, will not be the same experience as somebody who is pure black. In Asian country, it may be the same in America, but in Asian country you have upper hand because you are lighter and your hair look different. That is very, very important information a lot of people will put in mind. Let's continue watching.
Where are you from?
I think in general, sometimes I kind of forget that I'm actually black, because I think the acceptance here has increased compared to past years. Because when I hear stories from people from past years, they get more stares compared to now. I do get stares, but it's not as much as the people compared to back those times. And also I feel they are more intrigued about black culture these days, so they tend to be more curious and asking a lot of questions, although sometimes it's too much for me and I tend to not answer sometimes. But yeah, it just shows that they are more open, I guess.
Guys, the girl that just spoke right now, I love everything she said. She points out something that is so very important. First of all, again, she fall into beauty standard of Asians. She's slim, she's tall, she's slim, have great body. She fall into beauty standard of Asians, so she will be more accepting than when you look a certain way. But let's talk about this thing she pointed out. I feel like Koreans are one of the Asian countries that listen to what people say, listen to the impact or the review of Korea and Koreans by other foreigners. If you're like me who have been into Korea for so long, you see that there was a time a lot of people were making a lot of bad reviews of Korea. People were just saying a lot of things about Korea. It got to a point even Koreans in America start making videos talking about it on TikTok. So I feel like recently, based on what I have seen, I see a lot of Koreans getting like trying to get close to Africans, trying to get close to black people around the world. I see a lot of Korean brand trying to reach out to African influencers and content creators to collaborate with them. I kind of feel like Koreans are doing a great job recently, like when it comes to trying to integrate themselves with black culture and black people. They want to know. Also, Koreans are, I don't want to put it in a bad way, but Koreans are the kind of people that know when something is trending and they always want to tap into it. They know that Afrobeat and African music is currently trending, and a lot of them are tapping into it. If you go through their music industry, or like a lot of their music recently, see that a lot of them basically have Afrobeat sound. A lot of them try to dance like Africans. You see a lot of K-pop idols, female K-pop idols, trying to dance like Taylor of South Africa. So I feel like they know that Afrobeat is a thing, Amapiano is a thing. A lot of them are into it. If you are into K-pop and into like Koreans and in general, like I am, you'll be seeing a lot of them on TikTok trying to make videos dancing like Africans, talking to Africans. A lot of them also are having girlfriend right now in Africa. So I feel like the acceptance recently is wide, like is big, is massive, is beautiful as compared to how it used to be when we all see all those story times in Korea. I honestly love the fact that they are opening up, they are listening to what people say, because one of the things that took me out of K-pop is consistently watching a lot of K-pop idols disrespect black people, disrespect everything that will stand for, disrespect black American culture, and at the end of the day you still want our support. I feel like that is what took me out of K-pop. But when I look back, or when I try to go back to Korea, everything about Korean culture, I see like there's more acceptance, there's more of like kind of them listening, like they are listening more and learning more as to compare to what it is before. Again, when hip-hop was a thing, they were also into black Americans, but right now I feel like they are more into they focus a lot on Africa, because if you go to their TikTok page, a lot of them you'll be asking why are they trying to get the attention of Africa. But at the end of everything, as long as you're respecting black people, as long as you're accepting black people, as long as whatever you're doing you're taking from our culture, but at the end of the day you're respecting us, that is what my own. As long as you're not treating us bad, as long as you're not calling us monkey, as long as you're not making monkey sound, calling us niggas, we are welcome. But again, this is Korea. I love the acceptance. I love how far they have come. I love how far they have come when it comes to learning about black people, accepting black people, and also not being too much racist towards black people. I wish all Asian countries will honestly learn from Korea, because at the end of anything, we are not there only to consume your products. We are not only there to like talk to you when you have something to sell to us. That is not only the time you're supposed to look at us. You're supposed to see us first as human being and treat us as human being that we are, instead of only looking forward to us when you have something to sell to us. So let's continue watching. I'm enjoying this interview.
I feel like for me, I didn't have any crazy stories. It was fine for me. And I think also it was like very different from my other friends who are like dark-skinned black women, which I think compared to them, for me, I didn't have any crazy experience.
Guys, you see what I was saying, right? There's difference between a dark-skinned black woman and a black woman who is mixed with white or Asian, or any black woman who is mixed with anything. There's difference between us, or black people that are mixed with Asian or black or white. Once you're mixed, you're not black to Asians. That is it. Once you're mixed with anything, your skin color look different from mine, your hair texture look different from mine, you're not black to Asians. The only time you're black is when you go to America. That is when you become black. But as long as Asian country is concerned, once you have any little bit drop of any little drop of whiteness in you, you become white. They will treat you better than they treat black people.
Yeah, so far.
Honestly, for me, it's been pretty much positive. Like, I would say 80 to 90% positive, my time here. And I can't say that I've noticed like a big difference between living here versus home because I'm black. I think in general, it's just having people around you that are the same as you. I think that's the biggest difference. But my experience has mostly been positive, and I know a lot of people can find that controversial, but I think it's a good thing to see like both sides of the coin.
You've been living in the city like Seoul for what, like a year and a half now, and you lived in the countryside for almost 4 years. What was it like, living in the countryside as someone of color?
So I love that question because a lot of people think, oh, Seoul has so many foreigners, so you would think the experience would be better, I think, than the countryside. But for me, it was the opposite. Living in Changwon, it's quite a conservative city. And yes, there aren't a lot of foreigners, but I think people minded their business more than when I came to Seoul. I think when I would visit Seoul every now and then back in the past, I felt like I would get more stares and like more attention than when I lived in the countryside. So it was quite a big culture shock in that sense of just living in Korea and kind of just, minding my own business, people minding their business towards me. And then in Seoul, where it's kind of more like people come up to you or you get more stares. Actually, living in Seoul, it was the first time I was bothered by, the whole thing of when you go in public transport, like in a bus, and people like avoid the seat next to you. I never used to notice that back in Changwon because it really wasn't overt. Whereas in Seoul, like for my first 3-4 months, it was very noticeable. And for the first time, I felt uncomfortable by it because, people say, oh, they don't like to sit next to foreigners or they don't like to sit next to people they don't know. But it's different when they'll sit next to someone else but not next to you. Or like it's so obvious, like the bus is so packed, but that one seat next to you, nah.
This can be a little bit controversial. I've seen videos of people saying, it's
So guys, let's talk about some of the points this South African person made. One thing I have noticed among Asians, like I have not been to all countries, right? They ask you where you come from so that they will know the way they will treat you. Like a lot of Asian countries pay attention to where you come from. Yes, the country you come from. Let me tell you the thing. The thing is, a lot of Asian countries will treat you better based on the fact that you come from America and treat an African person worse than they treat you. Yes, they always ask you where you come from. I feel like most of the time they ask you where you come from is basically to know how they will treat you. And I love the fact that she said that her experience has been like more positive. Again, she's a South African. South Africans have been like the only black people in Africa that experience racism in their own country. So her experience may be different from my experience as a Nigerian. Also, that thing she said about like them not wanting to sit close to you. Do you know that a lot of people actually think, like a lot of these guys, when you bring that up, they'll be like, no, nothing. But it's not nothing. Actually, it is so very frustrating. That thing can make you fall into depression. Yes, like coming into a metro and sit somewhere and everybody will just disappear like that. That thing can be very depressing. It can be very, very depressing. Especially like she said, when they will be comfortable to sit with a white person, but will not be comfortable to sit with a black person, and they will be like, no, it's okay. No, it's not okay. It's not okay. I wish people will start addressing that. And I have seen a lot of people make comments. I don't know, but here in China, a lot of people will make comments like, oh, black people stink. Black people do this one. I don't want to get into that. I wish I would react to a lot of the one like videos interview from China, but I feel like the one from China, the one I see they interview people from China is not like there's a lot of editing there that even if you watch, you see that there's a lot of cut off there. But here I feel like this video is so very real because it's a foreigner interviewing foreigners. He do not have anything to hide. Everything has to be on the layer. So I love the fact that people are being honest. I feel like this video, a lot of people are being honest. Again, the person that interview you and how they edit the video matters, because at the end of the day you can say a lot of things. I will go and cut off everything you said. Let's continue watching.
Not bad, it's good, but I think it depends on your appearance, weight, how you look, if you wear makeup, if you don't wear makeup. Due to my size, I'm considered plus size, so I've gotten, a few, should I say, the end of the stick, but on some days I've also gotten, good treatment, but I think I've gotten more bad, not really bad treatment, but like it's been so compared to the good ones. Yeah.
Well, I'm so sorry to hear that. Can you elaborate like a little bit more on the social treatment that you've gotten so far?
Okay, so sometimes my major especially is related to child education. So I've been in schools where I have to do projects, and I've gotten some mixed reviews from either students or teachers, and just commenting about my weight or saying things like, oh, where are you from? And then I say Nigeria, and they're like, oh, I don't know that country. Or they say something a little bit racist, but I just see it as ignorance. And the thing about Korea is they gossip about you, but it's like you're not supposed to hear them, but they say it around you. So I've heard a few things being said about me, and I'm just like, yikes. Recently, I went to a school and we're doing activity with the kids, and one of the child looks at me and says, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, it's a little controversial. This little child said, do you have a younger sister or a brother? And I said, oh yes, don't sing the story, I have a younger one. And this child goes, did you receive my UNICEF clothes? Yeah.
Why would any kid say that?
Yeah, that was one. The second one I got, this one was at Hansan, that's around Gyeonggi, and it was also like a volunteer for kids. I'm school psychology, and this child goes, I was having this bread that has custard inside, and I was really enjoying it. It was like, Sonseni Mashistoyo, and I was like, oh yeah, it's nice. And this child goes, is this your first time eating bread? And I was like, no, actually, Nigeria, there's a lot of bakeries, like we have fresh bread. And I was showing pictures of like, if you're Nigerian, you might know this bread and akara, and like saying this is how we eat bread and everything. And last year during winter, I volunteered to share to make kimchi, like the winter kimchi. And this old lady was making jokes, we were all laughing, and then she goes, my skin is so clean, it's really pretty. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. And then, might be a little controversial, she said, my child is currently in America. And I was like, oh, that's good to know. And then she goes, when my child was young, he didn't want to bathe, so I told him it would be Somali if he doesn't bathe.
So bad. What does that even mean?
He was like, Somali Saddam Doekoya, Mokyo Kanamion. And I was like, wow, what? So yeah, that was, and I didn't know how to respond in that situation. I was really flustered, and I just like, unfortunately, I laughed it off.
And have you faced any unique?
Guys, I feel like this is one of the best interview on the internet when you're talking about country reviews. This is the reason why I say you should subscribe to K Explorer. One of the things I love about him is that he's very respectful, but he do not cover a lot of things. When you do interview with people, you let them talk what their experience is, and put that on camera. Do not cut that off, because at the end of everything, like I commented in a video that was like that interviewed black people in China. I said at the end of everything, it's not about covering up your experience or making everything look beautiful, because before anybody will make decision to come to a country, they will watch your video, they will watch all this interview. That will give them like the ground to determine to make decision to either come to the country or not. And by the time people romanticize and cover a lot of things up, when you get to the country, you end up hating those people, you end up resenting those people, you end up being very angry, because a lot of things were covered up. I love the fact that these people are saying their experience the way it is, truth, without cutting it off. Because anybody that wants to go to any country, especially these Asian countries, there are a lot of reviews on social media have seen that there are a lot of ignorant things said about black people. There are a lot of racist things said about black people. When you are interviewing black people in those countries, it's better you give them the room to tell what their experience is, so that people outside of that country who want to come to that country will make decision. Okay, yes, this is how things are. I want to go to the country, despite knowing that this is what I will get. Like I said, she said it, that these people treat people differently. Like they treat, a lot of Asian countries treat black people from America different from black people from Africa. Basically, they say that Africa is a very poor country. They are calling us country. And also, we Africans are still poor, that they are, the world basically is still contributing food and drink and clothes for us to wear. This is the reason why a lot of them end up disrespecting us. This is why I told you that a lot of times Asian people, they will see you, they say, where are you from? They do not want to know. It's not like they are asking where are you from because they want to do any. The reason why they're asking where are you from is because where you from will determine how they will respect you. If you're a black person, you say I'm from America, their respect for you will go high. But if you say you are from Africa, their respect for you will hit the ground. Let's continue watching. Am I enjoying it?
You faced any unique challenges because of your identity?
The biggest challenge will be with finding work, because I'm a teacher here, so looking for work, there will be some times where it will be posted, we're only looking for Caucasian or British teachers that are white skin, never black skin. So that will be one of the biggest challenges, I would say.
Actually write that like thin.
Yes, they will say we want an English teacher, but only if they have white skin.
Is that legal?
In Korea, I would say it is. There's no discriminatory laws against it, so it's easy and legal for them to do that.
Maybe just some minor things.
I have seen a lot of black teachers in China also make the same comment and say the same thing, but I feel like Chinese are not as direct as Koreans. So Chinese people will not outrightly tell you that they want a white person with blue eye and this one. But this group chat I used to be, if they put up listing of anything like teaching or anything, they will always say that they do not want people from Africa. They will make it clear that they do not want people from Africa, but they will not say that they will not want black people. They don't want black people, but they will always make like they don't want Indians, they don't want Africans. They will always put it there. I don't know if they are the people who put it there or the people who are posting the job are the people that will be like Africans are not allowed. But that thing they say to me that they often say is people who are not native Americans. They will always say that they do not want native, not native American, native English speaking countries. They say they don't want that, but they are not coming out to say that they don't want black people or they want only white people. They don't do that in China.
When I go out shopping, my friend, she's in brown like me, and we're looking for makeup. She usually tends to find the products that she wants, and I need to look further. Usually they don't have anything, or for my hair, curly hair, it's not that easy to find things that I need. But other than that, I think it's pretty much okay. I thought it was going to be worse.
So why did you think it was going to be worse?
Well, Korea, it's a place with lots of Koreans, obviously, but the foreigners that are here usually are from European countries, being white and all. So I thought I would probably get more stares, probably less opportunities to find things such as the makeup, for example. But it's kind of okay. Maybe it's because it's 2025 and people adjust it.
Did the media also made you feel that way as a black person, like, coming to Korea, like you might, like experience certain things?
I actually thought the media made it feel better because in Belgium I had some experiences and that made me feel a bit off going to a different country where I don't speak the language, where I don't know everything. But I see quite a lot of influencers, YouTubers that share their stories about living in Korea as a black woman or just a black person in general. And they usually make it feel more okay.
More so, I think the biggest hurdle I had to face in Korea is working here. Korea has a very bully, like fast, quick-paced work culture, which I'm not used to in Canada. And then on top of that, being a black woman in these Korean work environment spaces, there are microaggressions we have to face, both from your Korean coworkers and your foreign workers as well, like other foreigners in the community. So I think the biggest hurdle I had to face as a black woman in Korea is the work environment in Korea.
I think I have not, compared to other people, I think I've received like lots of acceptance from people. But like I can talk about my friend that there was this time we were waiting in the public restroom and then the woman behind us was actually a Korean woman. So my friend just finished using the public restroom and she came out and the Korean woman refused to go to the one that my friend just finished using because my friend is a black girl. And then she waited for another Korean to come out of the restroom and then went to the one that the Korean came out from. And I'm like, what are you trying to say? Like, why aren't you going into the restroom? Maybe she kind of tagged us or something, but like that's the only time I've seen something unique happen. But in general, I think people just accept me the way I am.
You talked about like nowadays Koreans are more open into accepting black people. Why do you think that is?
I think because they kind of get involved in the black culture these days, although sometimes it can be like cultural appropriateness, but like they're trying to immerse themselves more into like our music especially, and like sometimes I see like even some patterns of black music in K-pop these days. So I think because of that, people are just naturally like, they don't even know that it have an influence on them, but they just naturally find themselves being more open to black culture.
I've been through like challenges because I'm a foreigner in general, but specifically because of my ethnicity, not really.
I wouldn't say so much to the fact that I'm black, more being African. I think that's been the uniqueness of most of my situations living here. For example, I was with my friend who's Korean American, and obviously she presents as a Korean person, Asian person. I'm black, I don't present that way, but people would make comments towards her. Like, for example, we were in an elevator once and we were speaking in perfect English, obviously. And the Ajuma who was in the elevator with us, she was saying in Korean that, wow, to my friend, she says to my friend, wow, you're so like amazing. You even can speak in English to like foreigners, not knowing that she's basically a foreigner too. And another time, this man had, I don't remember the exact thing that was written on his t-shirt, but it was some American sports team. I think it was football or basketball or something. And then he was pointing or trying to engage with me, showing me like, oh, look at this team, whatever. I'm like, I have no idea what that is. And my point is, most people think I'm American. And then when we have a conversation, oh, I'm from South Africa or whatever, then it's kind of like, really? I had one guy argue with me that I couldn't be from Africa. Like, what? Again, this only happened in Seoul. It's never happened to me in Changwon. I'm walking and a little kid runs by. Ah, Afrika saram. I'm like, yeah, I mean, you got it right. Cool. Just little things like that. It doesn't...
You know, that thing she say is also like that in China. Sometimes when the kids see you, they will be like, Feijuren, Feijuren. Like that, you'll be walking in the metro and small child will be pointing to his or her mother, Feijuren, Feijuren. I be like, hey, Jesus, I don't suffer from the hand.
Black person is one thing to be an African person, and is one thing to be from an African country that is disadvantaged. Now, being a Nigerian, I'm on a scholarship here in Korea, so I'm not allowed to really work except during the break vacation period. And getting a job as a Nigerian, first of all, we're not allowed to teach because Nigeria is not recognized as one of the English-speaking countries, so you can't teach. You have to do like part-time jobs, and I've been rejected at several part-time jobs, either because of my weight or just because I am Nigerian. And apparently there is a current trend in Korea seeing Nigerian people in a bad light in terms of stealing or fraud. So I've heard several instances like, oh, the craziest one for me was last year. I tried getting a job at a chicken place, the Takalbi, and then the man goes, you are bigger than me, so I can't boss you around. It's not right for the Albaseng to be like bigger than the Sajanim. So I don't know what that meant. He was like, my mom is like intimidating, and like my Pyoyon is also intimidating, so it feels like he can't scold me. And I could sort of understand that because, you know, I don't go around laughing or smiling at people, so probably when I stand, and he's also shorter, so I could understand where he was coming from because that felt valid.
What are some stereotypes about black women in Korea?
Sometimes people always think black women...
Guys, honestly, I wish people would have more positive review of Nigeria, and also wish Nigerians in general would present themselves to the world positively, because I feel like the more people get to know Nigeria, the more they draw this conclusion of scammers and all this fraud and all this dirty image. And at the end of the day, it's not every Nigerian that is a scammer. And you know one thing, there's the Nigerian TikToker who make a lot of videos. He says one thing, that a lot of times Nigerians are not even at the top of the most the country with highest scammers, but the thing is that a lot of Nigerians are loud. They will make the money, they will do it in a way, show it on the internet, talk a lot about it, show off their weight on the internet, leading to those people concluding we are at the top list of scammers, but we are not. I feel like one of the things that destroy Nigeria is that hush puppy case, because it's not just within Nigeria, it went international. I wish Nigerians who are doing this will honestly think about their future, think about the future of their children, think about the image they are leaving for their children, because at the end of everything, a lot of us innocent Nigerians are taking bullet for what we do not know. We are getting blamed for what we do not know, what we do not partake in. Honestly, it's very painful that she will be rejected just because she's a Nigerian, because people think that Nigerians are fraudsters and scammers. Honestly, it's very bad.
Can dance, they are considered ghetto or really hip hop. So like sometimes when I go out with my friends, people always come up to us with a "what's up" instead of a "hello, hi, hello." It's like, yes, I do answer to hello. It doesn't have to always be "what's up."
But you do what's up as well?
Yeah, I do what's up as well.
There's like those age-old stereotypes of black women being hypersexualized or seen as exotic. Like, it's 2025. Every time I hear those stereotypes, I'm like, Koreans, first of all, are really well traveled. Like, they travel everywhere. Every time I travel to a different country in Asia, I see a Korean person. So they're well traveled, and I think Korea has the fastest internet speed in the world, or one of the fastest. So when I hear a lot of the stereotypes of black women in 2025, there's ways where you can educate yourself. So it does happen, but not as often as 5 years ago, I would say.
How was it like 5 years ago?
Korea changes so quickly. Like, when I first came, I did get a lot of stares, a lot of comments. Literally, right when I got off the airport, I went to the convenience store in the airport, and right away, wow, black woman. And I was like, oh, I just landed, I'm at the airport. So now there's a lot less outward comments when people see me, and there's a lot more black people on TV in Korea, or specifically black female representation. So it's a lot less of a shock.
Usually that we're more open-minded, if you will, like the hungry guys usually say that as well, but that we have a more funky side, but I don't think that's real or true.
I think the one that is very bad, right, is that they think that we are open-minded. So like they just kind of expect that whenever they meet us or they ask for anything sexual, we are just going to be like so open to give them or something. And also they think that we are strong. I don't know where they got that mentality from, but I'm just a girl. They think that we have so much energy, you know. Like, I literally went on a walk with a friend, and then after we walked for like 5 miles or so, I was like, I'm tired. And she's like, aren't you? I'm like, what? How is that? How does that correlate? It does not. Please, we are just ladies. Thank you.
I think you're strong. Where did that come from?
Let's talk about this. Honestly, a lot of them think that we are strong, but a lot of them, Asians are stronger than black people. Like, I don't know. I'm not talking about women. I'm not talking about men. But when you talk about their women, large majority of Asian women are stronger than black women. Like, what they would take, the energy in them are stronger. Like, they have a lot of energy, especially their women. You see them when, like, I don't know how to explain it, but if you watch them in real life, there are a lot of things that they will do that I know that I will not be able to do it. Like, I don't have the strength to do it. There are a lot of times, I don't know how to explain it, but if you live in Asia, you see that this kind of strength they have that you as a black person don't have that. When there was a time I was trying to get a job, and I got the job from a company that's stream, right? And this guy said that will stand for a long time. I don't have that stamina to stand, but this Asian girl, this Chinese girl, stood like she can stand from morning to night. Her strength is so very bigger than mine. The whole idea that black people have this energy that is beyond human being energy is something I don't know, but I want you to know that a lot of them are stronger than you as a black woman. When it comes to strength, a lot of them have more strength than you.
It's so crazy. I don't know if it's the media they watch or they just feel like black is a strong color or something. I don't understand.
They think that black women are loud, or like they know how to twerk, or they love hip-hop, those type of stereotypes. When I tell people that I'm from an African country, they have other stereotype because of that, because it's not like the US. Like the stereotype that they have of Africa, like as a continent.
What type of stereotypes do they have of Africa as a continent?
They think like, oh, you're from Africa, like it's a poor country, like how do you get money? Stuff like that. I get that question sometimes, unfortunately. Or also because now Korean people love Tyler a lot. So they really compared you, like, at least they compare me to Tyler a lot because that's one of the famous artists right now that they know from Africa. I think that's also can maybe fit into like one of the stereotypes.
And do you fit into like any of the stereotypes that Koreans, said, like twerking into hip hop?
That's actually funny because my first time in Korea, when I went out with my friends, we went to a club and this guy approached me. He didn't even say hi. He looked at me and he's like, "Can you twerk?" And I was like, "Excuse me."
This is a tired thing. Everybody knows this. Like when it comes to dating, and it's something that I didn't initially take seriously, I think, as in dating in general. I've not ever been kind of interested in that aspect until I got into my 30s and I was like, damn, I don't really want to spend the rest of my life by myself. But then you try and then those stereotypes come out and they're actually crazy. Like some of the things people think about black women, like I said, I'm not a very emotional person, but sometimes I'm just like, damn, we're just trying to exist. We're just trying to live. Like not everyone is the same. Not everything you see or hear on TV or read about is the truth. It doesn't apply to everybody. Even though some stereotypes exist and some people hold those stereotypes as truth, there is also a whole other facet where people actually don't know anything about us, which I think that's also a great thing because then you have the chance to, kind of teach people and not have those stereotypes as part of their psyche, There
was a situation when I went clubbing with a friend back in Daejeon, and then a guy walks up to me and he's like, "Do I like vanilla or chocolate?" And I thought it was ice cream based, but something told me it's not ice cream. So when I got out, I asked a Korean friend, and then apparently vanilla means, the normal, usual relations, and chocolate means, the rougher kind of relations. And the guy says, since I'm black, he's pretty sure I'd prefer chocolate. So that really rubbed me off wrong. And when I was having this conversation with this friend that was explaining to me what vanilla and chocolate meant, he pointed out that growing up in Korea, a lot of people watched MTV, and black people were portrayed as aggressive, and women in the music videos are always like, and the men are always talking about, rough and everything. So probably that's why there's that stereotype that we black women like things rougher. But this is just in Daejeon. This happened in Daejeon. I don't know if this also happens in Seoul or anywhere else, but that was the stereotype I got. And I think the fact that we're aggressive, I've had several instances where I'm just being excited or I'm just expressing something and my classmates will like flinch and be like, "Oh, come here." I've been told it comes off as scary.
Do strangers randomly touch your hair, skin, and how do you handle that situation?
It's been only one time that a stranger has come up to me when I had my curly hair. An older woman reached at my hair because she was interested in it because she had the perm as well. So she was wondering if it was a perm. But that was the only time they reached to touch my hair without asking. Other times they would always ask, "Can I touch your hair?" because they're interested, because it's different. It was never in a disrespectful way.
I'm a teacher here, so I've never had my skin touched by adults, but some of my students sometimes would be like, "Why are you brown?" And then I will take that as a learning experience and get to teach them about, there's so many different people in the world and we're all different colors. And it's never malicious, it's just genuine curiosity. Strangers never really touched my skin before, but I had an ajumma on the subway touch my hair. Like I was sitting in the subway and I felt some tugging and I thought it was on my purse, and I turned around and it was an old lady, an ajumma, like tugging my hair, and I had to be like, "Excuse me, stop." And she was like, "Oh, I just, I wanted to touch your hair." But that's been the only time, really.
No, that didn't happen. Only when we went to a shop. The lady was trying to sell her clothes, and when we were trying on some things, that's when she touched our arms. But I don't think it's because I'm black, but more because I was there and she was trying to be comfy and selling things. But she just said like, "Oh, 좋다," and stuff like that, but that's it.
So actually, I have this one experience when I was in the bus, and by that time I had like a little bit of hair, so I made twists, and then the twist I made, there's this woman, like the ajumma was at my back, and I was sitting like, she was here and I was here, and then she like picked one of the twists. I was feeling the texture, like intentionally. And I turned back and she looked away like as if she did not do anything. I was like, I know you just touched my hair. Like, you can't just get away with that. And at the moment, my Korean was not so good, so I could not say anything. I just stared at her and just looked back, and then it was like as if nothing happened, but something did happen.
I feel like it's more like people coming to me and asking me if my hair is real, or if I mean not free but like natural, or if I get a perm, because like some Korean do perm a lot here, so they think that I did the same. But like, no, it's my natural hair. But that's it. They don't really touch it that much. It never happens to me. People just like ask me like, oh, is it your natural hair? But they don't really touch. But that happened a lot to a lot of my friends, because they have like a afro, because my curls are like looser than my friends. So when they have their afro out, then people will just randomly touch their hair.
In Changwon, my students used to do this all the time. They would like touch my skin and be like, oh, teacher smells like chocolate. But I was just like, okay, that's not a bad thing. I feel like that's a good thing. And then it's only ever happened down south. I did have, while I was trying to cross the street, but this is back when I was wearing braids. So when I'm not in braids, nobody cares. But I had braids that time, and this is when I was still experimental. I had like pink braids or something crazy like that. And I just felt like this woman just reach over and just like stroke my hair, and I was like, oh. And I was with my co-teacher at the time, and the woman was basically asking me, oh, is my hair real? Did I do it myself, or did I go to a salon? And then my co-teacher was explaining for me in Korean. She's like, oh no, she did it herself. It's not her real hair, it's like extensions or something. But yeah, it didn't make me feel like any kind of way. I was just like, okay, they're interested, cool. My co-teacher explained for me, so yeah, I think that was the only time. My students don't really mind my hair. I come with different hairstyles all the time. And sometimes I even gaslight them. They're like, oh, your hair's different. I'm like, no, it's not.
Every single time. I remember one time I was at Hongdae and I had someone yank it. And then I turned and it was this like old woman, those old women that like slouch over with the trolley. And also I had the same thing at Daejeon. Someone pulled my wig, but I had like bandana. They're like these two old women at the market. They were arguing if my hair was real or fake, and then they're like going back and forth, and one of the lady just said, oh, we can ask her. So I felt, oh, they were going to walk up to me and ask me, but no, she just comes up right like by my side, and then she just pulls it. But thank God I had my bandana, so it just stayed, and that was it. But at the schools I work at for my projects, I've had several kids touch my hair, touch my this may not sound so nice, but I've had male students touch my butt, but they're like babies. So I just found it, no, I shouldn't say I just found it. They're like very little babies. I'm talking kindergarten level. So I really didn't get offended by it because they are babies.
I think I've watched a lot. I don't know that I'll finish the video, even when I was talking a lot in a lot of the review they are giving. I feel like I have done a lot today, and I want to know your opinion in the comment section. If you are not a subscriber of K Explorer, you're missing street interview of K Explorer. Is this real? Like, he's one of the rarest street interviewer, and also one of the earlier, because he started earlier. I wish you go and support him, watch his videos. Like there are a lot of videos if you are interested in Korea, whether you're a white person, black person. If you are interested in Korea, Japan, he have been to Japan, he have been to Korea, go check him out. And also subscribe to me and check out other videos I have made. I'll be reacting to a lot of videos I'm bringing to you guys. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys in my next video. Guys, I have tried today. Like, I have been filming for hours. Like,